Now we're going to have Brain Bing out here for you. So big round of applause for Brain Bing.
Welcome to Spoon River. We're a little bit off the beaten path, so it's nice that you could find us. We're a small town. Wait, I'm getting a building. A building.
School.
A school, yes, that's what I'm thinking, a school. And in that school is...
Gifted children.
Is what?
Gifted children.
In that school, it's not an item, but it's a gifted child. You see, Spoon River has a horrible secret. And once a year, on the 30th of May, 5 spirits rise from the dead, and they tell the story of what happened that day with the schoolhouse and the gifted child.
My name is Todd. I'm not gifted. I'm the only one in the school that's not. I'm grandfathered in. My older brother was gifted and he went to this school. I'm in my own classroom all by myself. They put me in the chemistry room. They let me be there by myself all day while they spend all their recess sources on the gifted kids. They shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have been left alone.
I'm Jimmy. I'm the janitor. I've been at this school for 30 years. I like it here because I like little kids. They don't know what I know. And I like this school because there's gifted kids. And they're more fun.
Well, hey, y'all. I'm Bernadette. I work in the cafeteria serving all this slop for them smart-ass kids. They come around talking this Pythagorean theorem shit and whatnot, and all I can say is slop, slop, slop.
I'm Mr. Connors. I'm the principal of this school. I wanted a magnet school. I didn't want a small town school, but unfortunately I made mistakes where I came from and they put me here. But I'm a good principal. I was in the kitchen that afternoon when they were preparing the meals and the janitor was sweeping up. There was a gifted child over in the corner staring. I knew what he was looking at me for, because I wasn't going to make him pass with an A. Not this time. No, he wasn't going to pull one over on me. I think, as he made his way over toward me, someone said something behind me and a pot of hot liquid spilled. And that's the last thing I remember.
I'm Miss Montgomery, and if it weren't for me, this school wouldn't even be in existence at all. And what do they do with my money that I've endowed upon this place? They allow a fool child, grandfathered in, they say, to be in the school, and then they let it be run by morons. Morons. Oh, Bernadette, I hate her. She was there when I went there. I hate slop. And the one who's running the school with my money, the money that I earned by marrying 5 men who unfortunately passed. What does he do? What does he do? Nothing, because he's not gifted. I just couldn't take it, and I decided I just couldn't continue any longer. So I devised a plan. I was angry, I was scorned. And my last husband, who was the most fun, actually did leave. So I let Jared know that he could have fun in that room all alone and turn on and light those Bunsen burners, light them up so they were high. And I just let him watch the lights and I left him. Then went back into the cafeteria and the slop with the 8 pounds of oil, the way Bernadette always meant, looked just ready for the next step. Because the janitor was a heavy chain smoker. That was the reason the kids didn't like being around him. The candy wasn't working. And I suggested he go ahead and light a match. And he did. He wasn't gifted either. And when that match fell down on the floor, oh, Bernadette and her sloppy ladling, I didn't realize she'd left a trail on the floor. And the oil lit. And Jared came out. And I yelled, "Yes, now, dear, now!" And the gas went up into the air. And those fools all went down in flames. And I had the last laugh. Because a little gifted child in the corner was my grandchild. And he was sure to be the only one who'd make it with my money. The only one who deserved to make it. Instead of these morons. These non-ungifted morons.
Abigail, I really want our children to grow up and be better off than our situation.
I'm glad you said that, Danny. I've been looking through their work, and it's not as good as I'd like, but I think they got potential.
Maybe we're not feeding them the right food. We don't need to feed them books. We need to feed them food that will make them smart.
You know that we can't afford good food. We have to eat fast food, just like your parents did, and they turned out okay.
True. I'm thinking like owls. I mean, we could go hunt some owls. They're smart. They're wise.
That's a good idea. I think that we could hunt some owls. We could go out and we could hunt the neighbors. We could maybe take care of some of their pets and eat them. Serve those to our children. I think that if that was the case, we could go into a wealthy neighborhood and they would show us the way so that we could get ahead in the world.
Yeah, you're right. And you're probably onto something with that fast food stuff. I heard they put snails in there. That probably makes our kids slow. Who knows what McDonald's puts in those burgers these days?
You are so smart. I don't know why you weren't the gifted child in school. I married you because of your intellect. God, I love you.
Abigail, you have your own great traits.
Tell me about them. I want to hear them.
Well, darling,
Oh, your fingers are so soft.
yes, it's from preparing all that bad, dumb food for our kids. That's going to change, though. That's going to change. But your attributes,
I don't want it to change too fast because I want you to spend more time with me.
You know, maybe that's it. Maybe we're thinking about this wrong. Who needs success if we can just be dumb and happy?
You called me dumb.
Well, no. I'm dumb and happy.
I am happy. I'm happy when I'm with you. In case you didn't notice, I like to take the canned goods out and turn the labels around so that I can see the pretty colors when you're not here.
That explains why we're eating so much expired food. You're turning the date to the other side. I can't see it.
Oh, I guess I could turn them around the other way just for you.
You keep doing what you're doing. I want to make you happy. Dumb and happy.
I'm so glad that you're in my life because without you in my life, I wouldn't want to live. I wouldn't want to be here in this kitchen that needs a new floor that we can't afford. And
That was me being dumb. I was going to surprise you with a jacuzzi, but I guess I was digging it in the wrong room.
I tripped, but I thought that when I walk with a limp, it makes me sexier for you.
I'll fix it right now. I like the view of you better from this point of view anyway.
I don't know how to break it to you, but you didn't get into the school.
I did everything the school wanted. I studied every night. I filled out all the paperwork. I even aced my SATs. I got a 40.
We're gonna have to work on some things. First of all, just because you can sign your name doesn't mean that you can get into the school that I can get into, because I can do other things that you can't do. I can write a check. You didn't do that. That's why you didn't get into the school.
A check? You mean those things that are in those books that have numbers on them?
So you wrote a check for the tuition.
Absolutely.
So you're going to the University of 1985. People don't use checks anymore.
I took a picture of the check on my phone, and that's how I sent it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
Get with
sense.
the program, okay?
I'm just a little bit behind.
Obviously. This is why it's not going to work out anymore. You just can't keep up with all this, with all that, all right? It's not working out.
It always comes back to this, doesn't it?
It worked for a little while, and that was a long little while ago. So yeah, it does.
I'll treasure this check the rest of my life. Actually, I have never gotten a check before.
I'm so glad to say that because it's really the last one. I'm going to need that back. Thanks. Well, I have some kids to feed. They're going to a gifted school, you know.
Oh, you're the one that got into the gifted school. I just deliver your groceries, and I guess I can't afford to even do that anymore.
We're running out of cats in this neighborhood. We're gonna have to go somewhere else to get them.
Oh, come on, man. We've got to make a way to make it work for us. You know, Jonathan, I didn't bring you into my lab to work for me because you were gifted. I brought you here for other reasons. It's for your hands. You have skilled hands.
They're the best.
Yes, of course. So you need to put those skilled hands to work and find things like...
Hire that guy with the hands. He's a hand model. He'll make us millions.
So, when I called the agency, they told me to hire the guy with the hands. They said we'd make a lot of money. And you're not coming through.
These are very skilled hands.
We've discussed that. We came to that
I
agreement.
can bring a cat's neck quickly.
That's disgusting. You're supposed to just bring me them.
Well, sometimes they fight back, so I have to.
I don't want to know those things. I pay you to deliver things in a box, not for me to look at.
I can bring dogs too.
Hi.
Hi.
I was asked to come in here because they're tired of slop in the cafeteria, so they asked for canned tuna. You wanted these, I guess.
I didn't. This is a fish. It needs to be scaled.
Oh, they're doing that now these days?
Yeah, they are. They're scaling the fish.
Oh.
What are you, back in 1985 when they had fishing boats and the waters weren't all polluted?
Well, I don't know. I think my family was out picking cotton.
That's a hard one to come back at.
I would gather. Okay. Well, there's also another box over here in case those unscaled fish weren't working over here. There's some furs. I don't know if they came from cats or not, but I heard it'll keep the kids warm.
There's a head attached to this one.
It's a hat.
There's a hat if I sew it together and wipe the blood off.
You're getting creative. I kind of like it.
I'm thinking you adjusted the scales this morning. We ate that big seafood dinner yesterday, but it couldn't have gained 20 pounds for me.
We've been counting calories lately, and I'm not so sure we're counting the right calories. I don't really think I adjusted the scale the right way. I think it's when we adjusted the 5 extra meals on top that caused the problem for you.
I don't think that you have it on stones, not kilograms or pounds. You have it on stones.
I forgot, it's because your mom was here yesterday. That's one big woman.
You're just into that English stuff all the time. That's screwing me up, switching back and forth to metric and stones and pounds, or libs, as you call them.
Well, I never did get my vacation. I haven't been to Europe yet, and I heard it's really great. So I thought pounds was a good way for you to get the hint.
I let you watch Downton Abbey every week.
You don't let me wear the hat anymore. It's not as much fun.
Mrs. Baxter,
Yeah.
I brought you a catalog on England so that you can look at it and familiar yourself with it and show it to your husband. I think that he'll be interested.
This
Yes.
is wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, as an exchange student, I could point out some of the niceties in the places where, why, the other Brits would go if they were on their holiday. But by looking at your surroundings, I kind of feel a bit uncomfortable about you going and staying in some of these places.
Oh, well, then it's a good thing I don't really care about your opinion here. my husband will be just contented to look at this, and I'm so happy you were able to bring it.
Well, good. And I will be over at the school this afternoon, the School for the Gifted, and we are accepting checks, you know.
Oh, that's fantastic, that's fantastic. I hear you're working in the cafeteria again.
Yes, that was supposed to be I'm doing it as a goodwill gesture to show my dexterity with food.
Oh, that's fantastic. I heard they were calling it an internship, and they called it the internship because for whatever reason you didn't do very well with the first internship, with the janitor.
Well, Jamie Oliver didn't do well either when he had a show on here. It was about food.
Yes, it's true because he was trying to focus on the weight situation in America.
Yes, and he wasn't using stones.